I completely forgot to do this shout out portion at the beginning of my recording because I'm not used to doing it because it's a new Patreon tier. If you donate $5 a month, you get a special shout out at the beginning of the video. We have two people who fall into the $5 or more a month tier. We have, I'm going to butcher these names, Identitech, and a new patron, I'm going to butcher this name, Andreas Glaziel? But yes, I forgot to include it in the recording, so you get me saying it on my toilet. Love you guys. Enjoy the video.
Sorry I didn't see you come in to this URL. Hi everyone. Welcome back to another First Reaction where I, Alex Haitz, musician, songwriter, author, person, smoker of tobacco, drinker of bourbon, listen to a full album front to back and give my first impressions and thoughts on it. It's not really a review so much as just like a first reaction. So I just recently finished Substance Part 1 and Part 2. Side 1, Side 2, whatever you want to call it, from New Order. Really solid compilation, found some great songs in there. And we're done with New Order for now. We're going to come back to Get Ready and Waiting for the Sirens Call, I believe, the next two albums. Not really interested in their non-Peter Hook comeback, was it Music Complete or something in 2015? But we'll go back to those two albums because I love me some New Order, okay? And speaking of New Order, that's a band that we went pretty much front to back on these reactions. Went front to back on The Smiths, Velvet Underground. We did both Joy Division albums. Was there another one that I completed? I can never remember. I always feel like I'm forgetting one that I listened to all of the band on. I don't know what it is. I thought there was. Anyway, today we're doing David Bowie. Okay, now I feel like I have to do this long preamble, or not long, but just a very comprehensive preamble here because I want to set the record straight and make sure that people who are going into this know what to expect. Okay, because we're gonna do 9 David Bowie albums here. This is the first one that we're doing. I had done a live stream like about a month ago or so, and I'd asked everybody, okay, I want to do David Bowie front to back, but I'm not going to do all of his albums because he has a ton. So what are like the heavy hitters we can do for a good trajectory? And then if I ever want to go back to a certain era where it's like, I like this album, I want to hear albums around it that I missed, I can do that. So I asked everybody in the chat on the live stream what albums they think I should do. And here's what they said. The Man Who Sold the World to begin with, Hunky Dory, Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, Station to Station, Low, Heroes, Scary Monsters, and then jumping all the way to Black Star. 9 albums. So yeah, that's what they said, and I'm like, okay, this seems pretty reasonable. There are some people who said I should include this album or this album, but the kind of majority vote won on what to include and not include. So, just a couple prefaces here. I'm not a big David Bowie fan. I enjoy Heroes, the song Heroes. I've enjoyed a couple songs off of Black Star. I Can't Give Everything Away. The ending track on that is pretty good. The title track, Black Star, is really interesting. I haven't heard much else that I've enjoyed. I've heard Let's Dance, the track. I don't really enjoy that one a whole lot. Which that's not an album we're listening to in this trajectory, so whatever. Ziggy Stardust, I tried the album maybe 4 or 5 years ago, couldn't get into it. Granted, there were albums in that era I tried to get into and couldn't, and have since gone back to, and we're able to do it now. So maybe Ziggy Stardust will make more sense to me now, 5 years later. Changes off of Hunky Dory, which is the next album. Kind of mixed feelings on that one. We'll see how that I feel when we get to that album. So, kind of like with The Cure, I am going into this with low expectations or no expectations. I want to have no biases. I want to kind of come at it with fresh eyes, fresh ears, just to fully understand Bowie. But my second preface is, don't expect me to love this. on the first listen, okay? I don't want you guys to view this as video by video. I want you to view this as a 9-video set. Where, yes, I am reacting to songs, but I'm growing and learning in my interaction and relationship with David Bowie and his music. So I might not like this one on the first listen, but maybe like 3 albums from now, I'll start to click with him more, and I'll let you guys know, like, I'll go back to this one and be like, okay, I like that one more. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. So if I say I don't like this one, don't like just dislike this video. Like, wait until you've seen all 9 reactions and at the very end, I'll be like, okay, this is how I feel about David Bowie at this point. This is kind of my final summation after this trajectory. So just bear with me. We have this first album, The Man Who Sold the World. What amazing artwork, right? I'm not doing the alternative cover. I'm doing this cartoon thing because I think it looks hilarious. So, little context here. Bowie's first album came out in '67. Just a self-titled. It's a Baroque pop, music hall, psychedelic pop. Kind of looks like maybe a Scott Walker-esque kind of album. Apparently terrible reviews. Everyone's giving it like 2 out of 5s. His next album was in '69. It's the self-titled. It was reissued as Space Odyssey in '72. So this was a '69 album. Also kind of mixed feedback on it. And it was folk, psychedelic, and progressive. And then The Man Who Sold the World is where we're at now. This was kind of his first pretty successful, good, commercially recognized album. So we're starting here. And if I like this one later, maybe I'll go back to Space Odyssey or something. So this is hard rock, glam rock, blues rock, folk rock, 40 minutes. I don't love blues rock. Like Abbey Road is one of my least favorite Beatles albums, which a lot of people will find that to be like heresy and blasphemy. But it's just because I don't like blues rock. The songs are fine. It's just I prefer, even their, like really English, whatever you would call that, Mersey beat is what it's called. Like I prefer that era, basically like the first 3/4 of their discography is my favorite. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're on The Man Who Sold the World today, okay? 40 minutes. This is nice after having done 2 very long reactions. They were both 70 minutes. So I guess we're just going to jump right in. The Width of a Circle is the first track here. 8 minutes. Like I said, I'm not expecting to love it. I'm not expecting to hate it. I'm hoping not to hate it or dislike it or whatever. But you can't know till you try. So let's try. Getting some Velvet Underground vibes.
My knees were shaking, my cheeks aflame. He said, "You'll never go down to the gods again." I said, "Do it again, do it again. Breathe, breathe, breathe."
What an opener. Yeah, I don't know how the other songs are going to be, but I'm kind of getting the sense it's like I don't necessarily love his glammy kind of like that kind of delivery, which I think was a little bit on Ziggy. I'm just not super into that. It's a little too sensational. And it's not like I have a problem with like glam as a genre, because there's a lot of Elton John I enjoy. But it's like when it comes to like Queen, I've never really loved Queen just because it feels so sensational, and I don't really know how to get into it. I just kind of see it and I'm like, all right, that's ridiculous, but whatever. And with this, I kind of feel the same way. Not that this is overly sensational. It's just like I don't feel it. I don't feel engaged. But like with, sorry if you can hear my son crying, he ain't sleeping. Kind of like with Velvet Underground, the ridiculous guitar solos and stuff in some of those songs, especially like White Light, White Heat. They weren't my thing, but I enjoyed listening to them in the moment. And that's kind of how I felt with this song, with the Circle. I don't know how often I'll ever come back to that, but it's like as I was listening to it, it's like, okay, fine, you know? So that's just that. Let's keep going, guys. All the Madmen.
Day after day, they send my friends away, where the thin men stalk the streets, while the signs stay ungo.
I've heard this before.
They tell me I can blow. I will do me harm
This is probably in a movie.
with all the madmen that perish with the sad men. Where can the horizon lie when a nation hides its organic minds in a cellar? Day after day, they take some brain away. Talking to no one, I'm not quite right at all.
You know, this is one of those instances where I'm appreciating the music more than I like it. Kind of like what happened with Tom Waits, where it's like I'm not like subjectively, viscerally enjoying the music and getting caught up in it, but I'm just kind of like, you know, yes, I see, I understand. I can definitely see the Velvet Underground influence here too, because this is like right off the cuff of their first 3 albums. And you can totally hear that progression in there as well. Yeah, that song was in a movie or a TV show. It had to have been, because that sounds really familiar. If you guys know what that was used in, please let me know. Black Country Rock.
Pack a pack horse up and rest up here on Black Country Road.
Getting Abbey Road and Let It Be vibes off of this one.
You never know, you might find it here on Black Country Rock. And say the view is crazy, but you may adopt another point of view.
My son is still fighting sleep. Also, just because like I don't like this genre, or I don't like blues rock or whatever, I still find the music interesting, because like there's been some albums I've listened to, like it was a little bit with that Nick Cave album, Let Me In, I think it was, where I just like, there were some elements of it where I kind of zoned out, because I'm just like, I'm not finding this compelling right now. I'm finding this compelling. I'm just not, it's not my thing. It's kind of weird. So it's like I'm not disengaged while listening. I'm still soaking it in. And all these songs have been fine so far. So weird balancing line. But we're so far we're good. We're good. After all, last track on side 1.
Please trip them gently, they don't like to fall. But they think that we're holding a secretive ball after all. And some on their own, quite alone.
Interesting. I like it. It's a little... He does this, like, this thing with some of his glam aspects where it gets kind of silly in a way. And you can kind of hear that with Changes on the next album, which is the only song I've heard from that album, I think. Where it's like the glam is there, but then it kind of like dips into the silliness a little bit. It's very unique. I don't think I've heard much like it. Yeah, let's keep going. Running Gun Blues.
I count the corpses on my left. I find I'm not so tidy. I slash them cold, I kill them dead. I broke the goose, I cracked their heads. They're running red, but now I've got the running gun blues.
There it is. Kind of a messy one. It's really interesting to see this like balancing act between like the blues from the Beatles and like the kind of like crazy guitar tones from Velvet Underground, and they're kind of like battling back and forth. But this is like right down the middle. Saviour Machine.
President Joe once had a dream. Please don't believe him. I need you flying. You can't stake your lives on a savior machine.
There it is. Yeah, just the hard blues riffs, they're just not my thing. That's all it is. So it's hard because I can't really make like a good, clear comment on some of these songs because it's just like, I don't enjoy that kind of music. I'm so sorry. But it's fine. It's fine. I will say, the first half was more palatable than these last two songs. Running Gun Blues and Saviour Machine were a little just kind of whatever to me. But let's continue. She Shook Me Cold. I heard her call my name. There it is. More of the same. Just not my speed. That's okay. I feel the same way after I heard her call my name from White Light, White Heat, where I'm just like, okay, I've been through it. The title track, The Man Who Sold the World. This riff is interesting.
I laughed and shook with the man who solves the world.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one as of right now. Very interesting. You can kind of see the beginnings of like his I want to say storytelling, but just like because he kind of goes into concept album territory later, right? And you can kind of see that forming on this album. Like a lot of it is just has just been like blues, hard rock blues songs. But with this one, you can kind of see the glimmers of that, like not, I guess, narrative. Like there has been some narrative on these songs, but this one feels much more like it's reaching to what he's going to do in the future. My little dude will not fall asleep. Last song, guys, the Supermen.
Mountain magic, a heavy hum. The Supermen would walk in fire. Ride your kind, I would cry then. Come on, we're all one.
And that's it. End of the album. Yeah. this was weird. It didn't leave much of an impression. I think mainly just because, like I said, I'm getting that blues from late Beatles and the kind of the hard rock, kind of proto-punk from Velvet Underground on their first 3 albums. First 2, I should say. And yeah, it's like there was some interesting elements of it. First half was interesting. After All was pretty good. I liked that one. Running Gun Blues, Saviour Machine, She Shook Me Cold. Didn't really leave an impression on me. Man Who Sold the World, interesting. And the Supermen had some interesting rock elements to it as well. But yeah, I don't have much to say at the moment because I feel like I'm just beginning into something. And I don't feel like this album makes a huge statement. It just kind of feels like the beginning of a statement. Yeah, and I think that this kind of started him on this trajectory into, fame and success. And then it's kind of like in retrospect, people look back at this and they go, oh, yeah, okay. But just having this album as the only full Bowie album I've heard, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to give like full comprehensive evaluations. This is just an ongoing 9-video series, more or less. So that's just how I feel right now, guys. That's how I feel right now. But yes, thank you for watching. Next one will be Hunky Dory, which came out a year later. That one will probably go down a bit easier for me. We'll see. Less hard rock, and I'm interested to kind of see the glam angle take a little more of a foothold. So yes, that is all. Probably a pretty short video, pretty straightforward. But you know the drill, guys. You know the drill. Patreon.com/AlexHaitz. You can join for $1 a month, get access to polls where I put up 4 albums. And you guys have a week to, patrons have a week to vote on which one they want me to listen to. And after Hunky Dory, maybe we'll do another poll to do an album kind of right before Ziggy Stardust. I feel like that'd be a good spot. And then maybe we'll go like Ziggy, Aladdin Sane, and then maybe do a New Order or something. I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, Hunky Dory's next. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you for watching, and Godspeed.